How y'all doing? So we have the announcement. Guys. Okay. Australia is now getting an update. So the Australia update is here, and we're gonna go over to you guys. So the titular nation that we are focusing on, our Gilead representative in Australia, is gonna be the Republic of Australasia. And of course, in the Handmaid's Tale, sort of lore, and in my map lore, the nations that get the title of like Republic of, let's say, Australasia or Republic of Gilead, that means that their rebellion and uprising has already happened, and they've won. And they've formed their nation already. So like the sons of Nicholas, they are still in the rebellion of Russia, but the Republic of Australasia was already set up. So of course, the population in Australia is mainly dense around the coasts. So Sydney or Perth over here, Sydney. We got New South Wales on the coast. So when it rose up in Australasia, they pushed deeply to push liberals and leftists and people who didn't agree with them out. So you can see in the outback of Southern Australia, you see the Eureka Brigade. The flag is of course a yellow background representing the outback, an orange flag representing the outback also. The cross of, I think, St. George Cross. He was a soldier with a gun aiming at a peaceful civilian, just holding the flag, and there's a boomerang behind him also that's waiting to come back. So it's waiting for the comeback of the Eureka Brigade. But the Eureka Brigade basically is people who oppose Republic of Australasia, and you see all of them have custom designs. Of course, they all have custom their own type of ideology changes also. But the Eureka Brigade is waiting for the comeback to beat Australasia. Now we're going to go Tasmania, because there's a lot more to this too. So Tasmania, of course, when Australasia broke free, they separated. They separated from Australia, so they made the Republic of Tasmania. It's sort of the same concept, but it's more focused on like indigenous roots, Aboriginal roots. But it's its own republic. So you have the Tasman tiger, you have the flag in the background, and we have the St. John's Cross. They're allied with the Eureka Brigade, of course, and we're going to see also some other nations are also involved, who are also involved in the alliance and in what we're doing. So we have New Zealand. New Zealand, awesome power, is also involved in the front against Australasia, because now this is the first one we've seen in this map world where people are now actually taking action against the nations. So in the U.S., it's May Day, the U.S., everybody else fighting. No other nations intervene now. We have New Zealand intervening. So New Zealand is going to be a strong power who Australia has to worry about also. When we go to north, of course, I filled in the islands, but we have the JNZA, which stands for the Japanese New Zealand Alliance. So, of course, Japan and New Zealand formed an alliance to fight Australasia because they finally responded, the first nation to ever respond internationally to like a Gilead type of uprising. So they formed the JNZA, which basically brought a lot of smaller like New Caledonia, Vanuatu, Solomon Islands, and Papua New Guinea together in this alliance to fight Australasia. So, of course, the Japanese forces will come down and fight, of course, the Australasians, and New Zealanders will fight, but now they have the main coast of here, the islands. So if they want to land, they can land here, or they can pull up boats and land in the South Sea. But yeah, Australia is going to struggle because there's the JNZA, that alliance, Japan's army in the north, once they get their navy together and move their troops, and they have New Zealand also. The Eureka Brigade has to hold out, but it's all about the lore. So the JNZA is, of course, these smaller nations who aren't officially, allied to Japan and Australia independently, but they are part of the JNZA, which basically means that they're united together in the same idea of fighting the Australasians. And that's the only people who are involved in the JNZA, New Zealand, Tasmania, of course, Eureka Brigade, and Japan fighting against Australasia. Indonesia, Malaysia, nobody else is involved. It's them fighting against it, and that's the update. I really love doing it. Of course, the flag looks fucking amazing. You have, of course, the Gilead symbol. We have it with the yellow rising sun, red rising sun. We have the St. John's cross on it. Plain dark black blue in the background. And the original Australian flag. And I love it. I think it looks fantastic. JNZA, of course, we have, a Japanese flower symbol. You make some Maori, typical like Maori flag colors. We have like the cross design. And I think that would be an awesome. This would be an awesome scenario, because Australasia is the first success other than Gilead that we've seen that's taken over, and hasn't won, but it's taken over. So yeah, that's Australasia. I love it. I think it's pretty cool. I love working on this. I would do it again. Yeah, and of course the Australasian name is meant to be not just for Australia, because they want to conquer. All of Oceania. That's the goal of Australasia, to conquer all of Oceania. So New Zealand, the JNZ territories, Indonesia, quotation marks, that's Asia also, Fiji, Palau, Midway Island, Marshall Islands. They want to conquer it, under, for God, and settle everything. But this is my update. We have Australasia here. Hope you guys enjoy it. And I'm gonna keep working on it. I have a new idea. It's either gonna be, I'm telling you guys now, I don't really want to tell you guys, but it's okay. Either China or Brazil. And I think I would love it. I know Africa is gonna be hard to do, man. Africa, because there's not a lot of territories. I'd have to like split one nation up, and it'd be like 1 or 2 territories, and then you go from there. But it is what it is. But yeah, China or Brazil. India also, but India would be like, if they ever separate, it'd be like a princely states, and then like a Gilead type of rebellion in the Christian areas. But yeah, I really enjoyed making this map, you guys, and I hope you guys, if you guys have any critiques or criticism or anything, just tell me them. Be plain honest. Don't lie to me. Just tell me whatever criticisms you have that you think I should change or you don't like. I love working on this. Australasia is pretty cool. The design for Eureka Brigade is awesome. Eureka Brigade, think of like an outback resistance fighters, desert warriors, fighting this constant like Australasian raids into the outback to try and search for them. And think of the Tasman Republic as as just regular Australians who support the Eureka Brigade, try to smuggle supplies in, and conduct naval operations north of Sydney to try and help out. New Zealand helping out also the same way. There's no landings yet. They haven't done any landings yet, but the JNZA and Japan, of course New Zealand, are planning a landing. So once you start, if you play as Australasia, you're probably going to get a starting off invasion from the JNZA versus when I first started working on it from Japan, New Zealand, all that. Because I would give them ships, but the only person who has ships is Australia, Tasmania, and JNZA. So you start as Australasia, you get a JNZA invasion, you'll beat that, and you go from there. I mean, if you're put together, or if the JNZA AI is the same way. So, alrighty, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. I love working on this, and I can't wait to work on the rest of it, guys. I'm sorry about the wait for the next episode. See you guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye. If you guys want more lore, just ask.